I'm very excited. Welcome back to another exciting episode of the Bowling Night podcast. Ethan just got back from his trip to Baltimore, Maryland. What were you doing over there exactly?
Selling Fent and doing it actually. Baltimore, Maryland.
My joke is you were part of that bridge thing.
Wait, what? We just talked about this. I thought it was California. I was like, what am I missing?
That's what I said. I was like, this is either gonna land or nobody's even gonna get the reference, and I'm gonna feel like a dummy. No,
Didn't get it. Somebody asked me that the other day. They're like, "Did you see the boat?" I was like, "What fucking boat, dude? Like, there's lots of kinds of boats."
Yeah.
This doesn't spark anything.
dude, the boat was crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What happened? I didn't see it.
Oh, did you not actually?
I mean, I saw one picture eventually. Like Caleb showed it to me because he's the one that said, "Did you see the boat?" And it was like a boat going through a bridge or something.
Yeah, so there was like this boat over there, and it was funny. I was listening to this podcast about it, and it was pretty entertaining, his episode of it, because he was like, he kind of broke down how it works, but I guess it was like a Singapore boat,
Really?
Yeah, and so like we were exporting stuff or importing. I don't know exactly how it works, but yeah, it was leaving the harbor, and then like 2 minutes before it crashed into that column. They radioed like Mayday, Mayday, like we just lost all power, and so yeah, it just skirted. But I guess this boat was what was it? It was 600. It was 600 or like 700 feet. It was 3 football fields fucking long. That boat,
big old
like
cargo ship.
yeah, and I guess he was saying that there's only 22 people that were working on that boat, and of course the people that own the boat, they're like, oh, well, those aren't actually our employees. Like, that's what he was talking about. Like, of course, like everyone's trying to kind of pass the blame around. Like, okay, well, whose fault is it? But yeah, dude, this thing just comes in and just hits this little column, one of the support columns. And then there's a video of it. You can watch the video. And I wish I could, I don't know. I don't want to completely derail the pod, but it fucking goes into it. And I mean, it literally just slowly just poof, 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 poof. I mean, this whole bridge.
Not
Yeah.
slowly. It happened real fast.
Well,
Dude, imagine driving on that fucking thing, bro.
so I guess that was the good part, is they radioed in or whatever, and they they stopped traffic, and so there was there was still some people that were missing or whatever, but like, most of the people were off of the bridge. But no, dude, it really didn't happen as fast as you think it would. Like, if you watch the video, because it's like, it's so well built and connected, that it's like slowly falling, and it's like dominoes. It's like poof, 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 all the way. It was crazy,
Dude.
And Ethan was sitting down at the bottom of it.
With the demolition button. He just took out a fucking what is that?
Tag.
And then he comes back. He's like, "Yeah, dude, my trip to California was really nice." And I'm like, that's where you were.
I saw snap maps.
That's funny because that happened the morning we were leaving California. I was sitting at the airport, like, looking at news and shit. And fucking, you just see that video. I think I read that they have, like, people to drive the boats into the ports.
Oh yeah.
And, like, so they'll get on the boat and there's, like, a native person from Baltimore or whatever, and they know that fucking shipping lane or whatever. So they get on the boat and then they drive it in.
Huh.
So that's where you said it wasn't their employees. Like, I kind of believe that.
I know that. Yeah. I believe that it wasn't their employees. He was just making the point, like, every company involved is going to be like, well, because I guess it was like, I think he said it was going to cost like $600 million to rebuild the bridge. So of course every company is like, well, it wasn't our guys. You know?
And imagine, like, it takes them forever to fill a pothole. Like, you think they're gonna fucking get this bridge back up and running soon? Like,
you live on one end of that bridge and work on the other, and now you got to go all the fucking way to the next bridge.
How much it just ruined the traffic patterns of Baltimore.
Literally.
Yeah, dude. At
least we got a couple bridges in Portland, a couple fallbacks.
A couple. Yeah, but dude, if some of those went down, I don't know. Of course,
That'd
obviously,
be cool to see, though.
There's all the crazy people on Twitter, like,
just see one of the Portland bridges fall.
No one on it.
No
though,
one
right?
on it. Yeah. They stop traffic like these people, but
that's what makes
even better.
I was gonna say that's
No
the
one
best
was
part. Portlanders can we take out? I'm just kidding. You guys are native Portlanders now, so like, and I guess I'm just throwing you under the bus like that.
True, I do live in Portland now.
I didn't even grab my beer.
You guys moved to Portland?
Yeah, I live in like southeast, like
Nice.
Woodstock neighborhood with Andrea. Yeah, you're right. That is on
Oh,
the
yeah,
internet. Fuck. It's okay. It's a big neighborhood. I live in one of the vans on the side of the road.
He's like, yeah, my address is fucking. He's like, what are you doing, my guy?
That's embarrassing. Yeah, no. No, it's fun. It's fun. You can walk to the bars. It's dangerous. Like,
It's dangerous in the sense of like you're gonna have an alcohol addiction.
yeah. Because there's a lot of fun to be had around there, and it's so close. Like,
Well, it is not. I mean, I bet you it would be nice living down there for exactly that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if you're trying to go to open mics and shit, just like because
No,
I
literally.
was gonna say Helium's not far from like it's
Yeah.
in
It's
southeast,
it's not
right?
far. Helium. The maybe turn. No.
that's off of like Killingsworth.
Okay, maybe it wasn't that place. There was another place. It wasn't far. We went to a bar after the fact. All of us.
I know which one you're
We went to
talking.
like that Tom's.
Yeah, that
place.
was. I don't think that place is actually still doing that open mic. It was like the Atomic Bar.
Yeah,
or
it
something.
was Atomic. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're right over there. Or like we're not far from there.
Yeah, you just go down 2 streets, turn right, you're at my house.
Just keeps describing it better and better.
Andrea's like, dude, we can't go outside anymore. You know, like, fuck, dude. No, that is sick, though, because I have been looking at them again, you know, like different open mics. And every time that I am going down there, I think about that. I'm like, I could just call Ethan. I bet you guys could come pop over if you wanted.
No, 100%. I feel like, I don't know, we try to like go and do shit like that. We've seen some comedy shows at Helium, and we like to go to live. There's a bunch of live music bars around there, dude, and that's a ton of fun.
Yeah.
You know?
When I went and visited Caleb in Texas, there was like that was the best thing is everywhere you went, like just for you're like, oh, let's get lunch real quick. There's a live band in the corner. Everywhere. It's like, all right, this is sick.
Yeah, I always like the live music.
And then at night, like going between like well fuck it. Just going between like club in Austin, there's like
shit.
parties in the streets. There's like the streets were just shut off and they don't even open them anymore.
Yeah,
They're
on
like there's
6th
just
Street.
too many. Yeah, there's
That's
just too
sick.
many people walking around.
That's what I was.
And then there's like bands out there playing. There's people doing like one man shows and shit like everywhere. It's like holy fuck! Like it feels like it's like New Year's or something. Like everyone's out. Roads are shut down.
Yeah, that's what they were saying is on Thursday through Sunday, they shut down like all of 6th Street. There's no traffic on it and shit, which is like insanity. I mean, like, it's like Vegas type shit, I feel like.
They do that like in one place downtown Portland. And
Oh,
it's
really?
like a bunch of gay bars or something like that. So it's not that cool.
Well, they do it right by like at least this might have been different, but I think they did it like right by Dixie's.
Yeah, that's like kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah.
But that's so small, and it doesn't seem as like lively, I guess.
No, not nearly.
I don't think I've ever been to a gay bar. I'll go.
I'm down to go. I've said that to Andrea.
Are we going?
Yeah.
Tonight?
Every time I try and look at Andrea, I'm just like looking straight into the camera. I'm like, ah, fuck. Look away.
She's not even here. She's just watching it at home. We're talking.
Yeah, she's the fourth wall.
We're like, hey.
Like Dora.
No, I'm gonna have to throw to her for a lot of stories to.
I know. I technically have another shitty microphone. I can plug it in. No, okay, I get it. Yeah, dude, you don't want to be associated.
Yeah.
I get it,
Giving out our address and shit.
dude. We were looking at, last night. Me and Abby, we went over to her friend's house for his birthday, and I was telling him the Sean H story, and we were planning. I think we came up with like a new merch idea. He was saying, you know, like when Pokemon, it says, who's that Pokemon? And it has the question mark. We could do who's that Patreon and have Sean H as a question mark. Or, you know, just like that. And I thought about doing it like, do you remember the Workaholic shirts that said like free Carl?
Yeah.
I was thinking that we could do free Sean H and just have like a black silhouette, you know? Send it over.
Should I drink another beer, get some burps going for Sean?
If you could, I'm sure he would appreciate a different burp because
Yeah, this is a new one.
he's probably about ready to be done subscribing subscribing to the Patreon over how much we talk about him. But on top of that, he's probably getting tired of our burps. You know, he's looking for young blood. You know, so like fresh new meat.
I want one up for you.
Yeah, you were talking about the helium shit. I bought some tickets for me and Colby to go down to Nick Mullen. Do you know him?
Oh, that's cool, yeah.
On April 11th, and I'm thinking we're going to take this whole setup down there with us in my car, and then just grab him after the show and just be like, yo, like, no reason at all. Would you like to be on our podcast? We've got one Patreon subscriber. His name's Sean H. He has a burping fetish for us, you know, like try and sell him on that, you know. And if he says no, Jordan Jensen is coming like next week, and I'm going to ask him like, hey, what should I change my pitch to Herbie? You know, like, what can we workshop this
He's
together?
like some cash.
Yeah.
Some
Cash. I figured, I mean, I'd toss him like $100 or something, but the guy makes like a lot of money on Patreon. So like, I don't have any, we did this with Matt too. Like there's no amount of money that we could offer you that would really make this worth it for you. You're not going to sell any extra tickets.
No one's going to hear about it.
You might get our friend group there.
Yeah. We'll all come. We'll come and support you if you want to come be on the pod.
We'll buy a couple extra t-shirts.
There's probably going to be 70. There's probably about 70 people that are like in total watching / listening to these. So I mean, it's not a huge audience, but please, what can we do?
I like that. It's a good career move.
Okay, Colby. It sounds like you have a shitload of shit. What have you been saving?
First, I was just gonna acknowledge your shirt.
My sick ass Fast and Furious shirt.
Yeah, you took your hoodie off and sat down. I saw that. I
No big
can't remember.
deal.
I saw it on like a video or something. Some YouTuber was wearing like something like that, and they were just roasting him. It was so hard for like.
It's like one of those shirts you'd buy off Instagram ads.
No, this is like a shirt that you'd buy for $5 at Walmart, because that's exactly what I did. I was like, Abby, look at this shirt. She's like, no, and
I was gonna say it looks like the Tupac t-shirts you buy at like Target.
Yeah.
He was on all the shirts for like one summer.
Yes, dude. I had a Tupac shirt. I had a Tupac shirt and a fucking the Doors shirt.
I
remember
remember those, yeah.
I think, did we have the same one? Him passed out on stage, Jim Morrison.
Maybe actually.
I
had
think
two.
this-
Now I think I have two. Had two.
That was just
Source
one more
shirts.
time you were trying to steal my style, Ethan.
no.
That and the
I was
fucking
an
Toronto
OG.
Cyrus shoes. You fucking
Dude,
bought them
he's bringing
after I did.
No, I don't even think I knew, dude.
We
didn't
did.
even go to the same school.
Yeah.
No, I
right.
saw him at like ice skating one night, same shoes.
And you're like, bitch.
dude, that's how me and Jordan became friends too. Actually, like, why is it always shoes?
You guys became friends over a pair of shoes.
We had
that
the
you
same shoes on. We went to like a football. You know, like when you'd have to fundraise money in football and do the car wash and shit like that.
Yes.
Me and Jordan were out there like with the signs, and we realized we had the same shoes on.
That's funny, dude. That's funny that you bring that up too, because we were actually just, my mom bought some like snickerdoodles from like one of her fucking coworkers' kids, and she was like, yeah, he was the #1 seller, and he got a $30 Amazon gift card. And I was like, what the fuck, dude? Do you remember when we were little and they would have those assemblies, and they were like,
yeah.
dude, if you sell all of this, you can get a 40-inch flat screen TV. Like they would give you like big prizes. I mean, mind you, you had to sell like a fuckload of the stuff. But this guy this little fucking 8-year-old sold his heart out, dude. I mean, he sold his soul to be the #1 seller of snickerdoodles,
crazy.
and they give him a $30 Amazon gift card. I guess he was like, Dad, I was the #1 seller, so I'm going to split my winnings with you since you helped. And the dad was like, oh, okay, you know, and he was like, I got a $30 Amazon gift card. I have 15 and you have $15.
Wow.
He's all
Wow.
ecstatic, and his
Yeah.
dad's like, "You got fucked."
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I mean, you probably made that company a good
So
amount of money.
much, yeah.
And they're like, all right, we're going to toss him a $30 e-gift card. I bet you it was like an e-gift card. I don't even think they probably give him a physical
What
one.
was he fundraising for? I think I missed that.
It was just something at his school. I asked my mom, I was like, what was this for? And she was like, well, it was at his school. And I was like, well, maybe it was like a club and that's why it was not as funded or whatever, but still.
Yeah.
The #1 seller deserves a $100 Amazon gift card, I think,
Easy.
right? Like,
Yeah, I wish I could remember what they would give us. I just never fundraised.
Me neither. I never once did it.
Yeah.
I mean, I tried, but like
You run the fun run, like you
the
ever
fun
get, you
runs
ever
were-
get sort of derail.
No. That's
yeah.
great. That's a sidebar right there. I did do the fun runs where it was the same shit. It was like I'll donate $1 per lap you do type of deal.
I remember doing that, and I'd walk from neighbor's house to neighbor's house all the way around the block, and then you collect the money, and it's on you to turn it in. And I did not turn it in. I was like, "Fuck that!" I
am I
ran.
gonna donate?
He's like, I ran 20 laps,
got paid
guys.
to run.
I did the work.
Yeah, I get the money.
That's hilarious.
I don't know what it was for. So if it was for kids, sorry, but I was a kid.
But I mean, you went to elementary school with me.
Yeah.
Like, I remember there was like legit fundraisers where they would bring in like a company and they would have like an assembly about it where the whole school would be
I
there.
kind of remember that.
And there would be a lady up there like, you can do it too. You know, like trying to get everybody hyped up. Do you remember what is this story that I'm thinking of? Did you pants me in like 3rd or 4th grade at recess?
I don't know. I feel like I got pants a lot. There was a lot of pantsing in middle school is mainly what I remember.
I remember
Elementary
pantsing
school.
someone and getting the underwear in middle school,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I could be wrong. I feel like maybe you pants me in like 4th grade, dude, at
Dude,
Hopkins.
Maybe. Like,
Get the fuck out of my house.
You guys remember those
he's like, I'm
gliders?
traumatized.
The gliders, you'd like hang on a handle and like slide 10 feet to the
Yeah.
other
Yes.
platform. One of my friends was doing that, and I ran by and he had just athletic shorts on, and I pantsed him. And I don't know if he wasn't wearing boxers or if they came down too, but it's just dick flying through the air. And I got suspended, and I was like, it's not like I was purposely trying to fucking make him naked. Like, that wasn't my goal. I wasn't like, I want to see my friend's dick.
That's so funny. That's so fucked. I did it to bleep his name,
Yeah.
and I got him in front of and I got
Dude,
and
wait, no, I remember.
and I got the
exposing
underwear and all, dude, and it was very bad. I felt so bad because I was only trying to get his shorts. Same deal, dude. I wasn't
Funny enough, the kid I did it to, his name was Daniel also.
really.
I can't remember his last name, but yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, speaking of doing stuff and then feeling bad, the other day, Kevin was fucking with me like 24/7.
At work?
And at work, yes, but then we went home. Michael and Caleb came over, and he was fucking with me the whole time. Just like every time I walked by, he'd try and trip me. I'd be holding Jack, and he'd be like kicking me in the leg. I was like, dude, stop. And then just like I'd go to take a bong rip, and he'd start to tip the bong up. And like I'm taking a sip, and he'd hit my cup. So like eventually it got pretty physical, and we started fighting each other just like every couple minutes. And so we're in the kitchen, and he's like going to put a Zin in, and I'm like, I should kick the bottom of his like Zin can, how he hit my drink. And I was like, I might like spill it all though. I don't want to be a dick. I was like, maybe if I just do it light, I can get like a couple of them. So I go to kick, and like we've had a couple drinks at this point, and I fucking kicked the entire can up in the air. All of them fall out, and he just stares at them on the ground, so depressed. Doesn't say a single thing. He just looks like so upset. And the next day I said something to him. He goes, yeah, I wasn't upset, or I wasn't mad. I was just disappointed. And the way he said it, I was like, oh, are you my fucking dad?
I was gonna say he hit you with the dad speech.
Yeah,
I'm
but
just disappointed.
instantly, like I saw him look at it, and I was like, "Oh, he looks like a little kid that dropped his ice cream cone." Like shit.
Hey, knock it off.
I'm not the couch.
You racist little kitty.
She's black too.
Yeah, literally. We're the same color.
She's got black fur but white skin.
She's mad because I'm a halfie.
I,
I'm a halfie. She's mad. Like,
dude, that's so
She's like,
funny.
"Look how dark my coat is."
she can say the N word.
Dude, that's a perfect fucking segue.
There you go.
Okay. So I'm scrolling on Instagram and I see this post. It's a dude riding a Ninja, like a bike, a Kawasaki, whatever,
Yeah.
down the road. And it said, "Japan, we thank you for giving us your rockets, even after we gave you our rockets." And I was like, that's kind of funny. Comments. First comment is like, Nagasaki, Kawasaki, not a coincidence. Other person was like, it's pronounced N-word Saki. That's why the bikes are so fast. I was like, that's pretty funny. All right, yeah. I go to another one. I forget what it is. But then I show it to Grace and I show her each and every joke. And she's like, oh, yeah, that's funny, blah, blah. And I go, why do you think there's no black people in Japan? She's like, why? And I was like, because sock you, because it sounds like Nagasaki. And I was like, that's a pretty good joke. And she just like looked at me and was like, that's not funny. I was like, no, it's funny. She's like, no, it's stupid. I was like, yeah, it's a stupid dad joke, but it's funny. She didn't like it still. So I go and tell like my coworkers, my dad, like all my friends. I start telling everybody.
He's
Doubling
workshopping.
down.
I'm like, I
Yeah.
want somebody
Yeah.
to find this funny. And then like after like, I don't know, a week went by and I had a dream that I told you that joke. And then you were upset at me. And I was like, fuck, I thought he was going to find that funny. Like, he's really mad at me. And I was like, I didn't know what to do or how to respond. I felt so bad. And I was like, do I say sorry? Like, what do I say? And then I was like, and I just turned around and walked away in the dream. I was just like, oh, sorry, bud. And I walked away. And I woke up and I was like, that was fucking weird. And then, like, I told Jason, I think on one of our podcasts.
I was gonna say, I think he's told the joke on the podcast,
Yeah.
trying
Yeah.
to make it work there too.
He's trying to tell
And then I was
everyone.
like, do you think Ethan would find it funny? And he's like, I don't know. And then I pulled up today. I was like, I've got the perfect story.
Let me give you my thoughts about the joke. I think it's stupid. It's definitely not offensive, but it's kind of stupid. Like, barely. It's such a stretch. Like, that's what I think. I'm like, okay. Like,
It's such a stretch.
The other dude's joke was definitely better than mine.
Dude, I've been having. So, are we done with Colby's jokes? Do you any more thoughts? I fucking have been having the craziest dreams because, like I told you, I haven't been smoking weed. And
How long now?
what?
How long now?
So okay, so I didn't even tell you. I told you I was gonna save this story for the podcast, but I already kind of spoiled it with Ethan. But like not this Monday, but the Monday before, I smoked weed and I was like, I'd already been cutting down like a lot, and I was like, I don't even think I want to smoke weed today. And then I did, and I was sitting in that chair that Andrea's sitting in over there at my table, and I was like tapping my feet, you know, like making like beats, you know, just having an okay time. And then all of a sudden, I like went out of my body and I like think I had like a seizure because I was like kicking the fucking table like how my cat used to have seizures too. And I'm epileptic, so like it's not that fucking far off, you know. And I was like freaking the fuck out like that or whatever. And then I like kind of like came back and I was having the craziest fucking like panic episode. And I don't know if I was just like, it was such a panic attack or what. And I was like, and I was all alone out here, you know? So then I go inside and I went and sat down next to my little sister and she's like, what's up? And I'm like, I think I just had a seizure because I smoked too much weed. Like, and she's like, okay, you know, and I'm like, I want to just make sure, like, if anything happens, you can see me die, you know, like, if I'm gonna
I
die.
want you to be traumatized.
Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, looking back on it, like, good idea, Jason. Just traumatize your sister for the rest of her life, you know? But yeah, so then I took like a 12-day break. And then on Thursday night, no, on Wednesday night, I came home and I was like, maybe I want to try and smoke weed again, see how it goes, you know? And Abby was in the car with me and she goes, I smoked all your weed. And I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm definitely not smoking weed tonight. Probably. She's like, I thought it would help, but I'm like, it did, because now I definitely can't. And so Thursday, I bought some Kush, came home, and I took like this small little bong rip, and I just fucking hated it, bro. Like, I really, like, immediately, like, I just started going down these like crazy like wormholes in my head and like thought patterns and just being like, why the fuck did I even do this to myself? And I started getting like kind of sad and almost like depressed about it, you know. And I was like, you took drugs to feel different, you did it, you made the choice, so just fucking ride it out and at least try and have fun, you know. And so then I was like just sitting in here with her and she's like having a good time and I'm just like mad, you know. And then we went in the house and then I had like these crazy thoughts because like I did something at work that I probably shouldn't have done, and we can circle back to that and it's whatever. And then I was sitting on the couch and I was like, dude, this is why I hate weed, because now I'm thinking about it like at home and I'm having all of these panic attacks, you know. And then we were like, my little sister or my older brother, I forget who it was watching Ridiculousness on TV, and Chanel was like said something about how she was on tour with Lil Wayne, you know. And I was like, this is why I like weed. Like, these are the types of thoughts that I like having, you know? And she's like, yeah, he doesn't do very well in, like, cold weather. He's more of a hot weather type of guy. And I looked at Abby and I was just like, just another thing me and Lil Wayne have in common, you know? And she's like, shut the fuck up. And then I was like, thinking about it, and I was like, most of the time I see Lil Wayne, he doesn't have a shirt on. So maybe that's why he doesn't like cold weather, you know? Like maybe he just doesn't really understand like how clothes work. Like he only wears them for fashion. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, maybe he just like doesn't get that when you're cold you have to put on a shirt. Like maybe that's why he doesn't like the cold weather. And she's like, shut the fuck up. And I was like, okay, these are the types of reasons that I like weed, because I have this dumbass thought in my head, you know? But yeah, since I haven't been smoking, I've been having the craziest fucking dreams. And the other night I had this dream where me and Abby were sitting in the house. We're really trying to get a house, or we were sitting in my parents' house, I should say. We were really trying to get a house. And I was having this dream where I was like, maybe we should go and return all of my gold. And she was like, you have gold, you know? And it's just so vivid and like clear and like real to me, you know? And I was like, yeah, I've got all of this gold dust. And I pulled out a scale and I like started weighing out this gold, and I had like 12 ounces of gold, which is like 20 grand, you know? And I was like, dude, why have I not thought of this? Like, there we go. Now we can go and buy the house. Like, this is our down payment right here, babes. And I woke up and I was so fucking mad because I don't have no gold. None. Like, zero gold. Zero. But in my dream, dude, I had like 10 or 12 ounces of
King
fucking...
Tut over here.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Maybe you were a panhandler back
In a previous life?
Previous life or something. Dude.
I could see that. I could see
You're a
me
gold
being...
rush guy.
I could see... So there's plenty of gold, or I've been told, on the banks of Sacramento. Have you ever heard?
Know that?
That's like an old song that they used to sing.
Why do you know that?
Because I was a panhandler.
Yeah.
I don't think, is that where that term comes from? A panhandler? I thought a panhandler was
Wait,
someone that begs for money.
Sorry, maybe I...
A gold panner?
Gold panner.
Yeah, I think that's what you
sorry,
meant. But
yeah,
you threw me down the track.
That one Coors Light.
He's like, you're out there looking for copper. It's shiny. You think it's gold, dumbass.
Fucking digging
So
up
I was watching a
copper.
lot of homeless content on YouTube lately.
When the homeless people got iPhones, dude, we discovered, I mean, we got the best form of YouTube.
Dude. Yeah.
Have you guys seen Bums and Drones?
Yes. Bums and drones are pretty good.
That one sounds pretty mean. I like the self-made homeless content on Instagram. Homeless Instagram's fun.
That shit's pretty good.
You guys Instagram Reel users?
Yeah.
And
There's
you've
a guy
noticed how
down
it's
in...
gotten kind of wild lately. Colby, you send me the most G-rated shit. So I know that you don't see this stuff, but...
Are you on X at all?
No, not really.
Dude, I've been seeing some shit on X that is fucking past rated. Like, they need to start...
It's
like that
lively.
shooting thing that happened that in Russia or whatever.
I just saw that one on Instagram.
You saw that full video? Dude, I did too. And they're just like... I mean, there's all of these people like up against the wall, like, please. And they're just like, boom, 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 boom. And I'm like...
all right, you're triggering me. No,
What the... I did too, dude. I turned it off. I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, I was like, I'm all good, bro.
What's
like,
crazy was I feel like I was trying to find that video. They just showed it to me randomly.
Dude, I wasn't really trying to find it. Like, I didn't even know it had happened. Like,
I
I
was
think it was
over
the
it.
day of, and I saw it, and I was like, what the fuck, man? And I just turned it off. I was like, I'm all good. Like, I don't need to be seeing this. Like, this is...
No, me and Corey was just talking to me about how it could be a conspiracy or whatever. Like, I like a good, fun conspiracy theory. I don't like to believe it, but I like to be like, oh, yeah, that's fun to talk about.
Me too, but I've really been trying to not. Like, you know how much I was listening to War Mode and shit, and, like, I was going down a schizoid period. Like, and you can be real with me. Like, I know that I've told you some shit that you were probably like, buddy, why don't you take a break from the internet, you know? And I couldn't, dude. Like, I was just into it, and, like... Now it's funny because like we were at their friend's house last night or whatever, and like I'm not gonna say who because they're all very, very nice people, but one of them is hard brainwashed by Fox News, you know, and like I'm like,
Fox? That really?
dude, I get it. I was there. Andre, would you press that red button again? You are the best producer. Thank you very, very,
grab
very
a
much.
Coors.
Top red button. Ah, beautiful. Thank you. Like, cause we were talking about like immigrants and shit, and of course she immediately is like, yeah, they're just coming up here and they want to sell you fentanyl, and I'm like, dude, no, that's not like the situation. Like, yes, there might be a couple of them, but it is very much so being sensationalized by whichever side you're on, you know, like. And I get annoyed when people like I just try and avoid it. Like I'm truly trying to avoid it. Like Joe Rogan had David Tell and Ian Fidance on. Did you listen to that?
No, but I do stay away from Joe Rogan. Like if they start talking about politics,
That's
and
what
shit.
exactly what
I just
mean.
don't even care for politics.
That's how I am too at this point. I used to be deep in it, and now I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I'm not going to change a single thing that is happening, and they are just going to continue doing all of their same gay shit. Like, and they were talking about like all of the squatter shit that's been happening. Have you been seeing a little bit of that?
Oh, I actually like kind of heard something about that recently.
So there was like some guy on like Venezuela TikTok that was like explaining how you can just come up here and pretty much like steal houses from people. You know, you just show up to a house that looks abandoned and then you just start living there. And Joe Rogan was going on like this 45-minute fucking rant about it with one of the funniest comedians in the world there. And it's like, can you not, bro? Like, can you please just try and have a good time? And I was on YouTube Reels and I watched this one guy and he literally explained how to fix the problem immediately if you live in one of those states where like the renters have like significantly more rights than the property owners do, because there are states like that. I don't know what Oregon laws are on it, but he was saying that like this one family it was happening to, and so the mom just had the son sign like a rental agreement. Now he is the legal renter and now he has all of the rights. So he booted him out of the house. But the mom, who is the landlord, could not go in there and boot these fuckers out, even though they're not paying any money and just destroying the house. But that's like what that girl was getting into last night. And I'm like, just understand, please, that is not happening everywhere. That is like 10 fucking people, you know, like, please do not, like, do whatever you want because I've been there. So I can't judge you, but like, they're lying to you on the news. They are
100%.
trying to make it seem like they are going to come to your house and do that. It's not going to happen that way. Like, I promise you. Like, and
no, it's crazy because those are like the headlines and stuff like that. But and I feel like it doesn't take much research to find like what's actually the truth. And
it does and it doesn't, you know?
Yeah, but it's always like a little somewhere in the middle of both. Like,
yeah.
Fucking whatever the news is saying on the left or right. But
that's what I'm doing though.
Like Diddy's shit. He didn't actually flee the country, dude. I was so hyped about that. I was like, that's crazy.
Oh, have you like I follow some shit on Instagram and like they pick up every like news thing. Like they picked up the Baltimore. Let's go back there for a second. And they were saying it was like a terrorist attack and shit. Like, like there are like, and there's just like Instagram accounts that are like pretty influential that like push these crazy narratives sometimes, and I'm like, that's crazy. People are like taking this stuff at face value. Like I follow it, just to kind of like see what's going on, but I don't believe everything at face value. And there are people like in the comments that are like, "This country's going to hell." Exactly, yeah. And it's like, and honestly, this is Black Instagram. This isn't like Fox News Instagram. And I'm like, who is like using this Instagram account to like spread this shit into Black people? Like that's what it feels like sometimes. Like not to get too conspiracy.
I used to be that guy though in the comments, like what the fuck, you know. And it's like I've kind of came out of it, especially with no weed, you know, and like that's really been helping. But I know exactly what you're talking about, where it's just it's bullshit, dude. Like it's. But that's what a lot of the shit that I was listening to was.
Low-key hate like that internet shit that pops up for a week and then like no one gives a fuck.
Yeah, like the bridge.
Yeah,
the bridge.
Honestly, I think the bridge is cool. Like, to be real, cool. Like the bridge was kind of sick. But I was like, that was not in my fucking bingo board.
I give it 5 days and they're done talking about it.
Yeah.
I mean, not 5 days, but it's the same shit. Like it's like the Boeing fucking with the doors, those planes.
No, dude, I still think about that. We rode on a fucking.
No, I know
we've been riding on 737 Maxes, and I was just saying last night that shit's exhilarating. Like, dude, that's a good plane ride. Yeah, that's a good fucking plane ride. Like you wanna, that's like a free roller coaster. Like.
That's so fucking funny. But that was the same shit for like 2 weeks on the news. All they talked about was the plane. And I'm like, I'm tired of hearing about the fucking planes, dude.
No, the planes are crazy. There was a couple incidents that happened with that plane, so that's why I think people are latching onto it, because I feel like it's a pretty common plane that people fly on.
I think it's most of
what
the
I
planes, isn't it?
what I'll when pilots start being like, "Oh, I'm not flying that plane," that's when I'll care.
Yeah.
like kind of, you know, when because they fucking do it every day. Like,
Yeah. But I mean, you drive around with jumper cables in the backseat of your car.
I do. You're right.
So you don't trust your vehicle either.
You're right. Yeah, starting to trust it more. But yeah,
I'm just kidding.
I wanted to hear Colby's edible. I feel like you had a weed story here.
Yeah.
My dad's in Mexico, right?
Yep.
So I had to write all the people, all of us checks.
What's he doing in Mexico? Sorry.
Just hanging out.
Hanging out.
Yeah.
He's bringing it back.
He's
He's bringing the fucking squatters in, dude. He's escorting them in right now. He's like, look, come on.
He is trying to get. He was like,
trying to get
I was like, what are you doing down there? He's like, oh, I
A
just got
couple
done.
cheap employees.
Literally, yes. He goes, I just got done talking to this guy, and I gave him a business card. I'm like, dude, you're like 15 hours from where we fucking live. They're not gonna relocate.
He might relocate.
They'd probably reload. I mean, depending on
There's
what
a
they're
couple
doing down there.
crossings
Like,
I've heard of.
Yeah.
No, I'll
Get
fire
them.
him. I don't care.
you'll let them get up here, let them work for 2 weeks, and be like,
Yeah,
yeah,
and
you're
be
fired.
like, you don't speak well enough. Bye.
Damn.
Wow.
It's so annoying. He speaks like almost perfect English, and I'll be like, all right, this is what you're gonna do. Got it? Understood. Goes away and then fucks it up. I'm like, what the hell is this? He's like, this is what you said. I'm like, dude, you speak perfect English. How'd you misunderstand that? And then
You don't
15
speak
times
perfect
later,
It might be
15
you.
times later, I'm like, okay, he needs to be fired. This is like 30 grand down the drain. This is dumb. Like, but anyways, he's in Mexico.
Yeah.
Payroll didn't go through, so I have to write checks for everybody. He doesn't go. His real name's
Your dad's?
yeah. The one of the workers. His real name's a state.
Okay.
Whatever. I knew that, but I didn't really think about it. So when I wrote the check, I just wrote it to. And then he goes to deposit it, and he's like, they won't let me. So I had to drive from my house back to fucking my dad's, and I was pissed because it was like right at rush hour. Gracie's like, I'll go with you, whatever. And I was like, yeah, a screaming baby in the back will make this drive better. Fucking let's go. And so we head out. And then we get there, and I'm like starving. I'm like, let's go get tacos across the street right next to Khalifa.
Yeah.
Well, and there was no parking. So I was like, well, if we park in this one that says Khalifa only, I guess I got to go in. Like, oh. So we park, we order food, and I go in, and I get my shit, a couple joints. And I was like, ooh, pineapple edible. I like those. So I get it, 100 milligrams. Oh, cool. We eat. We're like halfway home, and I'm like, I mean, I guess I'm going to take this edible. You want half? And she's like, no, like maybe tonight after I put him down so that it's like not in my system. I'm like, oh, whatever. I'll eat the whole thing then. Fine. Be a loser. So I eat it. We get home. Probably like 15 minutes of driving. We're sitting there for like 15 minutes, and I start to feel it a lot more than I thought. And I go, babe, how long has it been? She's like, maybe like 15, 20. And I'm like, it has to have been longer. She's like, all right, maybe 30. So I'm like, all right, let me know when it's been like another 30 minutes. It should have fully kicked in by then. 5 minutes later, I'm on the in a rocking chair in the corner of the room, looking at my phone, going back and forth. And all of a sudden, I can't see anything but my phone. Like everything else around me is black somehow. I don't know how.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of like looking at my phone, but in my head, I'm not looking at my phone anymore. I'm thinking. And so I'm like seeing my own thoughts. And then I'm like, wait, where am I? Like I can hear Grace and the baby, but where am I? And I like couldn't figure it out for a solid like 10 seconds. And then I like look up and somehow I can see stuff. And I'm like, all right, I'm home. And she's like, what? And I was like, oh, I was confused where I was. And she's like, what do you mean? And I was like, you're going to be taking care of Jack alone tonight. Like, I am gone. And she's like, she just starts laughing. She's like, what do you mean? I was like, I did not expect this. I don't know what's going on. I'm kind of scared. And she's like, what? I'm like, and she sees me smoke like every fucking day, almost all day. So I'm like, You know, she's
Yeah.
used to it. So she's like, what do you mean you are scared? Like, how are you scared when you're high?
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know, but I am. So then I'm hanging out with her and Jack. And I like move over to the couch to get a little closer and try and like, she had to like go to the bathroom or something. So I was like trying to be a little closer to Jack, but I still didn't want to be too close. So I was freaking the fuck
You're
out.
like, I can't look at the baby right now.
Yeah. And so I was like sitting facing the TV and I like had my hand on him trying to like soothe him while she was going to the bathroom because he was crying. And then I just like looked at him. I was like, dude, you need to calm down because I'm about to freak out. I was like, this is not good. Please stop crying. This is getting scary. And it kind of like ended there. I think I like literally fell asleep on the couch at like 6 o'clock. And then she woke me up. We went to the bedroom and I woke up at like 9 this morning. And I was like, I don't remember anything. Like, what the fuck happened? I feel like I was drugged. And I was like, I literally have not felt that since I was like 6th grade.
Dude, I've told you, they've changed the edible recipes
Edibles,
because like
weed.
they used to not hit me like you were talking about. Like I used to just drink those 250 milligrammers and be completely fine. And like I told him about it. I don't know if you heard that episode, but like the bottle drop episode, I took like a fat dose of edibles and I was at bottle drop and I was looking at like the, like the hole that you put the bags into. And I was like, I should just like go inside, And I was like, I mean, why does nobody just go inside? Like, what's preventing them from going inside? And like, I told him all of this. So I feel bad kind of redoing bits here, but I'm like, homeless people love cans.
Yeah, they love
They
scrapping.
love scrapping. So like, they need to just go get a bottle drop membership, and then they need to go and scan it, and then they can just go inside and be warm all night long. But like my thought is like, if you climb through, can you get back out? You know what I mean? Like,
Through what? The hole?
yeah. Because you'd need to wait till somebody opens the fucking door. And could you imagine if you open the door and a homeless dude was like, hey, and you're like, ah!
So, like, do you see those videos when people would be at like McDonald's drive-thrus or something and somebody would come sprinting by and like grab the food?
Yes.
I was thinking that like they open the door and the homeless man's like, this is my chance, and just starts sprinting and like dives in. And they're like, what the fuck?
What the fuck? Because, dude, you could just go into bottle drop whenever you want. No matter what time it is, you can just scan the card. And as long as you don't weigh above 500 pounds, I think you can fit through the hole.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the question. Do we take our equipment and do a podcast inside a bottle drop?
Dude, we should, especially one of the ones over at Fred Meyer's. But the ones at Fred Meyer's have like the bars.
No, you got to go to one that's like on the Portland-Washington border, so you get the homeless from both areas,
Yeah.
Those are the crazy ones.
Well,
Start scaring them.
I've thought about this, and Colby has
Do it
already
live while they're working.
Colby has told me no already. But maybe I could see you being into the idea. I could throw this little recorder into a backpack and just have the cords coming out and just hold the microphones. And I want to do this thing called Try Talk, where we go on to TriMet and just go like walk up to people and be like, yo, you want to be on the podcast? Like
I'd
because
like that. You'd get people that really want to talk.
right. And like
Yeah.
the first time,
You're gonna get robbed, but it's absolutely a great idea.
because
Leave your wallet at home.
this happened because me and Abby, when we went to Comic-Con, we actually rode the TriMet down in there.
The bus or Max or
Yeah, like the Max line.
Okay,
And
yeah,
so we
yeah.
hop on the train, and the first thing that happened, first train ride, and mind you, I'm baked, and I, like we were talking about, a lot of paranoia and anxiety when I smoke weed now. And so I was super high, and we get onto the TriMet, and the first thing that happens is there's this crazy fucking lady in the back, and she's going, get the fuck out. And she's just spraying her afro at full speed, like with like this bug spray. And just rocking back and forth. And I was like, damn, maybe like I should start this thing where I try and interview that person. Grandpa, you want to come be on the radio? You want to? Come on, Grandpa. Come on, Grandpa.
I don't want to be on the radio.
You could be on the radio. We've asked you before, and you always say no. One of these times, I'm going to get you on the radio. Come on, just come say hi.
we need a story.
No, maybe not. Well, yeah, so I don't know. Try Talk, though, and I feel like that's a good name.
I shot that down.
Yeah, you told me
Did
no
you
way in
really?
hell are you going to do it.
What do you think about it?
remember.
What do you think about the idea now, though?
I mean, I might. I don't know.
What if we take Tim?
I don't know why I said no the first time. I don't remember.
I'm sorry, Grandpa. We can't pause it. I want him to come on, dude. He won't come on.
So
What do you think his best story is?
I can tell you, and they are insane. Yeah.
I'll tell you the one that I got last time.
Yeah.
Right before.
Go ahead,
I'm
Colby.
here with Jason. He comes up how I just did, but he walks in and takes a plop right by the camera. And we're like, all right, we kind of go for a couple minutes. We're trying to talk to him, not really working. And then Jason goes, Colby's about to have a baby. And he goes, yeah, I had a kid. Stillborn. She died. And I was like,
Oh my god.
like I just started laughing because I was like, that's not what I fucking expected.
Yeah.
I don't know how to respond to that. And now you're just staring at me and I don't know what to say.
You're just like, that's
and so I
dope.
just like looked away and was like, I'm just like laughing anxiously and I felt bad, but I was like, dude, I don't know what to do right now. Jason, please do something.
Well, yeah, I listened. Colby told the story a little bit wrong, but it's
Yeah, I couldn't
pretty,
really remember.
It's pretty close. So I love my grandpa. He's backing away right now in the golf cart. I can hear the beeper, and I feel bad because I'm like, we can't really pause it, you know. But last time it was just me and Colby in here, and he comes up. And I go, Grandpa, you want to come be on? You want to come be on? Bless you again. And he goes, I go, Grandpa, you want to be on the radio? Because that's what I have to call this because he's not going to understand the podcast idea. And so I'm like, hey, you want to be on the radio? And he goes, nope. And then he comes and sits down, and we're like, okay,
You're on it.
well, you're now on it. Do you see the camera? You know, like, and he sits down, and I go, I'm trying to just make small talk, you know, and I'm like, well, yeah, Colby's about to have a baby. And he goes, I wouldn't do that again for the world. And I'm like, well, thank you for doing it because otherwise I wouldn't be here because my dad wouldn't have been born. But he goes, yeah, we had twins and one of them died when she was about 3 months old. And we're like, okay. And I'm stoned and I'm like looking at him and I'm like, I'm looking at Colby and Colby, like he said, he's kind of like, what the fuck do I even do here? And I'm like, well, let's hope that doesn't happen to Colby's. Like, I don't know what the fuck
Which
to say.
then
here.
allowed me to laugh out loud and not be directly at that. So I was like, thank God.
Because I was like, yeah, man. He told me a story and I don't know. I might have said it on the podcast. I mean, that's an insane fucking story. Yeah, and he just... So when you're like, what's his best story? I'm like, I mean, that one's not the best, but it's definitely a story.
Maybe not fun.
How you doing? Eating an orange. We're about wrapped up with this one, and then we got a Patreon episode in like 10, 15 minutes. But Grandpa just came up, and he's done this to us before with Colby over here. And he walks up and I go, Grandpa, you want to be on the radio? And every time he just says, nope. And then he walks away.
Just have to tell him it's an interview about his life story.
That's how you get in.
I've tried
You're
that.
messing up.
I've
You're
tried,
fucking up.
No,
dude.
I've tried that too. He doesn't really want to like talk about it. I mean, how many pictures of that guy do we have? Not that many.
There's
like-
pictures of Grandpa?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's not very many. Colby, will you make sure that thing actually shuts? You have to like pull it up at the top. It's stuck to the door right now. No. The metal door. See down at the bottom? Pull that thing. There we go. Sorry, I got the screen
Looking
door.
good. How you been?
Dude, doing great.
Hell
Go,
yeah.
dude. Go get your flipper and show Ethan if you're really trying to look good.
Should I?
I mean, if you wanted to.
I mean,
But no,
you
he's
got
been
front teeth, yeah.
he's been doing good. He's got
Yeah.
front teeth now that he can put in.
Hey,
He looks sexy as hell,
yeah.
dude. He's about to fucking
That's what
finally.
That's what up.
We used to work with this lady, and she also had some problems back in her day, and so she didn't have fucking no teeth. And she just came in yesterday, and she has full teeth now. And I was like, "Holy shit, dude, you look great!" Like,
Yeah.
it was pretty cool.
It's a game changer.
It's a game
It's a game changer.
I believe that.
Dude, you were cutting firewood like crazy today.
I'm
saw
gonna go
that.
do more, man.
You're gonna go keep cutting? Are you out of gas yet?
No, I burned through 1.5 gallons already.
Yeah.
Using a chainsaw?
Yeah. Homestead.
Yeah, homestead.
It's in my garden.
Yeah, you're like, they're my way, dude.
No.
Was Grandpa at least excited you were cutting the wood?
Oh yeah, he's been down there 20 times.
He's been up here 20 times.
Oh.
I think he's just making laps. He goes down to you, turns around on the golf cart, comes back up here.
Yeah, he comes down there and he's like, man, you sure are nice to have around. Grandpa been around my whole life.
Yeah, he mainly says that type of shit when you're doing a big favor for him. He's the only one with a wood stove around here, so he's great. He's great though. One of these days we're gonna get him on the podcast.
I'm telling you, dude, you gotta set it up. Like, Grandpa, we want to record your life story about, you're getting old. We want to get it down.
I always wanted to do that with Grandma, and I really wish I would have. My great grandma that passed away last summer.
That would have been a wild episode.
Yeah, it would have been pretty
interesting.
Should have been talking about great grandpa missing his thing and
yeah, dude.
how they smashed up until they were 90.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You should tell anybody that.
My grandparents
We're
are like
still
that.
sexually active, like that's good for you,
That's
Grandma.
so good.
At a family reunion,
Yeah.
saying that to people.
Well, she was a Quaker, bro.
Like
In the middle of and like in the middle of the country,
Crunchy.
No, that's
crunchy
Crunchy.
oats.
I think way back, like my dad's family was like Mennonite. I think that's really similar.
Yeah,
to
I think
Quaker.
you're pretty close. Dude, we were just talking to this lady last night that was at that party, and I guess she was Lady of Job. Have you ever heard about this? I guess that's like the female version of Masons. And she did it when she was like 12 and shit, and like we were like, I don't know, they were all talking about like cults and shit, because like the one guy, like, he was pretty cool. His mom moved here like 3 years before he was born, and she was from Israel. And like so
Moved
that
where?
like northern Israel.
No, did they move? You said they moved here.
Yeah.
Like Oregon.
Oh yeah,
Like-
Oregon. Yeah.
Okay.
Specifically, but I mean, I don't know. I don't want to get too specific on here. Start airing this guy out. But so he was talking about that shit, and then he was talking about how like he was a Mormon for like 3 years, and then Abby started telling her stories because she dated a Mormon for like 4 years. So she went to the temple like in Nevada or whatever,
That's
but had
crazy.
to like sit in the visitor center. For like 4 hours because like they had to go down there to like
You have to check your card.
they do they pull your card, dude, and I guess like
That's crazy.
I guess she was, and she's told this story to a lot of people, so I hope it's cool that I'm just airing it out on the pod. But she was sitting in the visitor center, and they all left her, and of course they're all coming up to her, like, hey, do you want to read this book? Like, and it's the Book of Mormon or whatever. And she's like, fuck off, pretty much. She's just like sitting on these copies, and then she goes into the bathroom and gets like the worst period she's ever had as like a 13-year or like a 15-year-old girl, like has no supplies and is stuck at a Mormon fucking temple. And so they were talking about that, and then, yeah, and then this lady was like, oh, yeah, I used to be a lady of Job, and telling us how, like, they had to do all of these rituals and shit. And I was like, yeah, the closest cult thing that I had was FFA, because I did that for, like, the longest time. And they were, like, all laughing, and I'm like, I mean, it's not, but it's kind of similar, because you have to wear a designated outfit, and they have, like, the opening rituals, where it's like, he's back. He's back.
We need to put a clicker on that motherfucker.
Just see how many miles he's been doing.
No, like a sound, like a little bell.
What we should do? We should do the bicycle tire,
That's
like
what
when
I'm
you
saying.
used to put the cards in your bicycle to make it sound like a motorcycle. We should do that, where it's like coming up the driveway.
And then he can sneak up on you.
Gotta put the reverse beeper on the forward gear.
Yeah, I rewire it. I was gonna be like, no, dude, it has the reverse. It's a pretty sick little golf cart, though.
It looks nice.
It came from the Portland Reserve Country Club. That's what the sticker is on the front. If you look,
Portland Reserve Country Club.
there's like a nice golf course up in like northwest Portland. I did some work on a lady's house out there. It's a pretty nice area.
Okay.
But yeah, we bought that.
It's not PGA certified, but
No, it'll do the job around here.
I would imagine that it's. I mean, do we have any PGA
one-
courses here in Oregon?
It's right behind Columbia River.
Really?
There's also
Yeah.
one on the coast, like the Lynx course in like Seaside or something. It's a
Oh,
really
that
nice
one's
one.
pretty
It's really
nice. Yeah.
We should go golfing because Colby was butthurt that he didn't come to 12 to 9 and greens.
Yeah, no, we should. I think me and Tanner were talking about it.
But like an actual course
full
day,
blown, yeah.
that would be fun. Just go whip those around, beers in the bag.
Mhm.
Takes
Gotta
The
So
ones
long.
that they use now have like computers on them, and like you can play music, and
Oh, really?
they like tell you where to drive and where not to drive. And
We're taking them where
It
we're not
takes
supposed to drive.
yeah,
Yeah, no, we're gonna go whip it around.
Does the battery disconnect when you go off course?
It like does some crazy shit.
It's like the shopping carts. You go past the line and the wheel just fucking
Yeah.
cocks.
I don't know. I think they can control it a little bit, but they're quick.
I know that some of my family members have been permanently banned from golf courses for exactly that
Really?
reason. So I'm not surprised that they're taking steps to.
Did our family members get kicked out of casinos?
You guys love the casino.
We love the casino.
I love it.
Being real good. No drugs.
No drugs, but a bad
Loves the
gambling
casino.
problem. Spent $600 last weekend.
No,
Yeah, it's a bad
Oh.
idea.
it's okay. I got a rental car towed in California last weekend. So.
Did you
Yeah.
Oh fuck, dude! What did that BMW?
Yeah, the M5. Yeah.
Where did
Got
you?
it towed. So there was like construction going on in front of her mom's house, and like we were well aware. They had like signs posted, or they had like letters posted on everyone's house, and like her mom took the letter and posted it on her door. So like every time we were walking in her room, like we'd see this letter.
Yeah.
It said, "Oh, they'd have like signs posted 24 hours before they started the road work."
Yeah.
And we pull up the night before, like from drinking or whatever, and like, and I'm like, I don't see any signs up here next to your house. I saw them down there, but whatever. I'm gonna like risk it. We'll be fine. And then we go in, or we, go to sleep, wake up in the morning, and the car, and like we go somewhere, and the car's gone. And like, I'm like, damn, like, no way they got it that quick. I was like, maybe they moved it up the street for me. Maybe they moved it. Yeah. I'm like, maybe they just moved it off the street they're like working on. Like, that's so nice of them. Literally.
That's superior optimism.
Literally.
That
Yeah.
is the most optimistic.
Walked up the street, yeah, it wasn't there. And then I, go back and they now have signs posted, and on the sign it was like, oh, call 311 to like find out where your car is. So I call them, figure it out. They want the VIN number, and I'm like, I don't have the fucking VIN number of this
It's a
car.
rental.
It's a fucking rental car. Like, can you help me out? No. So I had to get a hold of the guy and be like, hey, I might have got your car towed. You think I could get the VIN?
Wait, so did you do it like? Because you can rent I could rent my car out, and then if you traveled here, like you could rent it, or did you rent it through a company?
It was through Turo. It was like
Okay.
one of those apps.
Oh,
It was
the
like
way you
Airbnb
phrased it, you're like,
type
"Hey,
thing.
dude, I got your car."
Yeah, no,
I
it
was
was literally
"Did
like,
you?"
it was literally, hey, dude, like.
Wait, so it was like someone's
It was
personal
yeah.
car?
Oh, okay.
Arguably, I think they were kind of a business-ish. Like they had a couple cars and shit.
Yeah.
But essentially personal. Like one dude probably ran this thing, and
So when I've rented one car in my life. When you go to like Enterprise, they ask you, do you want to buy the insurance? It covers pretty
Yeah,
much everything.
I
Does that
did.
happen on Toro?
yeah, I did get the insurance, but I think that's for like shit.
So does
Like,
that was my next
That did
question.
not.
Does that
It does
cover-
not support tickets. It does not support getting your car towed. So what happened was they towed the car. I had to pay like $300 to get it back, and then I get to they open the gate of the lot. I'm like, oh, there it is. It's nice. And there's a fucking ticket on the windshield.
Yeah.
Of it. And I'm like, I just paid $300 fucking dollars to get out, and then there's a fucking ticket on the car for like $80.
Damn.
That's fucked.
It was fucked. Her mom told me so. She was like, I told you. And her mom's husband was like, yeah, I saw on the Ring camera them writing the ticket and putting it on your car. And I'm like, okay.
No warning? Wow.
Very sound
Good looking
asleep.
out, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, construction starts early too.
No, dude, they
and
don't fuck around
If
in
you were
California.
drinking all night the night before, you probably didn't wake up till like noon. You're feeling a
Yeah.
little hungover. Wait, so did you just admit to also drunk driving?
No. Like we were just out. Like we wanted to go to like this restaurant bar. I had two drinks and then I went home.
We'd always get you one of those handheld blowers.
You know what? Maybe you should get one of those in my life.
Holy shit! All right, well, we've been over an hour. You want to end it because we'll probably record a Patreon too. So, thank you very much for watching the podcast. Any final words?
I won't tell my my black Japan joke anymore. It's not funny.
No.
Good try.
I tested it a couple times. Didn't
really-
work through the bit
Yeah.
very well. I
You
gave
really
up.
tried to workshop it, bro.
I'm sure.
I have.
I'm sure Grace is sick of hearing you try that on new people.
It's
So
like our 15th
yeah.
I think if you could actually get away with saying the N word, it would work a lot
I know,
better.
that's
But
what was funny is
when
I
you
told
bleep
Grace.
it out,
Yeah. I was like, I
Yeah.
told Grace, I was like, I'm going to have to recruit somebody to like go around with me and tell the joke.
maybe you could like sell it to like a black comedian.
Maybe.
You know, like, yo, he's not gonna pay a lot, but maybe like $5.
Cam.
You could,
I'll give it to Cam. He'll love that joke. Patterson?
maybe, maybe. I don't know, bro. Alrighty, we're out of here before Colby says something to get us canceled. Before we even get to start. Bye bye.